That'll do. I don't even know if it worked. Don't know if anything's been working. I might have just been jamming away there for no reason to myself. Let's put this away. Starcaster, by the way. Eh? Starcasters. All in the news. All in the news. Well, we'll speak about Starcasters. Maybe. Right, so. Hello. Hope it's all working. I'm just going to nip to the bottom of the chat just to see if it's all working. Oh, there we go. Lovely tone from the lamp. Thank you. Brilliant. Okay, right, so it must be working. I don't know how the balance was. I didn't get a chance to test it between the backing track and the guitar. I kept turning the guitar down, so hopefully you could hear it loud enough. Right, how's everybody doing? Thanks for coming. We're going to talk about learning guitar today. Hammering on about learning the guitar, or learning guitar, something like that. We had the poll up this week, seemed to went well. If you're watching on catch up, hello. Put in the comments, like after the fact, what's been your story on learning the guitar? Let me know. Right, we're going to go into the live chat and see what everybody's saying, see who's all here. Thanks for coming, by the way. Speaking of which, Steelhorse75, thank you for coming, mate. I'll just say hello to everybody and then I'll come back, alright? Steelhorse75, how you doing, mate? Scott Bogfoot's in, hello. Scott Brower. Mississippi Blues is in, how you doing, mate? Richard Clark. Cal B, hello, mate. And my mate the Lammy's in as well. Awesome. Gary Hill's in, howdy Gary. John Channing, hello John. Did we do Mississippi Blues? Maybe. He's got the pink hand back. I think I've been mistaken your pink hand with someone else. I'm sorry, Mississippi, but hello, mate. Always appreciate the big pink hand of Mississippi Blues. Simon Rice is in, hello, mate. How you doing? Thanks for coming. The Gain Dane's in, how you doing, mate? Scott Bogfoot said hello. Anton is in. There's me getting excited again. Calm oneself down. Anthony Edwardson, hello, mate. How you doing? Sergey's in, hello, mate. Rob F, hello, mate. How we doing? Thanks for coming. Mott the Hoople 2010 is in as well. Thank you so much for coming. Right, I think we're caught up. I'll go and have a wee look at what some of you are saying then. Okie dokie, Steelhorse75. So we'll do live chat for a bit and then I'll go into the comments from the poll because I asked in the poll this week. I ask in the poll every Wednesday what we're going to talk about today. Well, what we're going to talk about on the Thursday live stream. So even earlier in the week I was asking people if they had any ideas for topics because I was kind of stuck. But now I've got a year's worth of ideas because everybody was so gracious with giving me loads of suggestions. So thank you for all of them. They've been very useful. So this week, I think it was Gary Hill actually that mentioned about learning guitar. And he also asked if I could recommend any good resources. We're going to get into that. Kinda. Yes and no. So, yeah, I've got the live stream there, right? Not the live stream, I've got the poll there, I've got the results, we'll get to that in a second. Right, okay. So Steelhorse, you're saying you had several attempts to play guitar from age 14 to 30, but gave up. When lockdown happened, I literally had nothing to do and borrowed the guitar off a mate and said, you are learning this poxy thing. That's what you said to yourself. Got you, mate. I was age 45 then and now 49. Gee, was lockdown that long ago? Was it like 4 years ago? Wow. I was saying that the other day, my concept of time over that whole thing is just weird. Anyway, so 4 years ago, wow. Right, with the help from Andy Guitar, I learned all the basic power chords I needed and also joined a band about 2 years ago and we meet up every 3 weeks and now I'm on soloing. Brilliant, mate, that's the way to do it. Sounds like you've got stuck right in, mate. That's fantastic. By the way, what came up in the comments of the poll is lockdown has created a lot of guitarists, as the stats told us for sales of guitars at the time. Apparently they skyrocketed, and it's amazing that not only so many people learned over lockdown, but they're still at it and they're even here on this live stream, and guitar has become a big part of your life, I'm assuming. So cool. Love it. Right, okay. Scott Bogfoot, cheers all. Can't remember how I learned. It was over 30 years ago. Same here, I think, mate. I remember having the worst music classes ever. Probably just the worst teacher ever, to be honest. I never stopped learning. Yes, we'll get into some of that as well, mate. Some things in there worth addressing. Worst thing I'll ever... Oops, sorry, Scott is saying, worst thing I ever learned how to do well was to accept laziness while playing. The that's good enough way of thinking over long periods hinders my muscle memory. Yeah, I got you. Be a perfectionist at the start. Why not? Well, sometimes. Scott Brower, oi oi oi. Oi oi, mate. That's Johnny's thing, but I'll say it as well. Oi oi. Mississippi Blues, no internet or YouTube when I started. I used to get all my knowledge from music store books and tab wherever I could. There's so much accessible nowadays with online courses. YouTube, remote lessons with Zoom, etc. Yes, indeed, mate. This is it, isn't it? Is there too much? Is it oversaturated? Is there too much choice? Are we spoiled? Questions we can raise, potentially. I don't think so. Richard Clark, hey Scott, bring you right back, guys. Going to try to clean up my shop and get on in time for the stream. Great, mate. Enjoy cleaning up the shop. Good luck to you. Vincent Brennan, evening all, mostly by nicking stuff from any source. 54 years later, still doing the same. Yep, that's the way to do it, mate. That's how all the greats learned, isn't it? Stealing licks and that and whatnot. Carl Bean, the Rocket Cat. In 1972, my pals formed a band and I was the designated bass player. Being a lefty, the only thing available was a pretty crap Raven P bass. Don't know that one. A few years later, and the band long disbanded. You sold it off. Fair enough, mate. Oh well. But I remember, oh wait, you might be into this here from what you were saying in the comments of the poll that you got back into it later. The Lamb is saying good afternoon. Good afternoon, Lammy. Carl B back again. I'd rather have played guitar. So in December of 2020, I was in dire need to do something. My wife had suddenly passed in late October, so I turned to guitar. I remember you saying this in the community poll as well, Carl. Really sorry to hear that, mate. Not the best at all, but you got into guitar through grief. Could think of worse things. So you bought your first lefty. I have bought many the next few years in the search to find what I like. Turns out I like a lot of them. Yeah, that's the thing with guitars, isn't it? Gary Hill, howdy. Hello, Gary. This is all for you, mate. John Channing saying hello, everyone. Mississippi saying hi to the Lamb. Simon Rice, self-taught as a teenager without ever improving beyond being an enthusiastic beginner. Then a 30-year hiatus before getting brilliant Zoom lessons beamed direct from a box room somewhere in Redcar. I wonder who that could be. Well, without being too cryptic, I should mention that it's obviously John Robson, guitar teacher to the stars extraordinaire. We'll get a wee speak about John soon as well. Great stuff. Where were we there? There we go. Sounds familiar, yeah, the Lammy knows who you're talking about. Mississippi Blues, you just watched John's curry recipe. I actually just watched a little bit of that in the background while I was setting up the stream, but I failed to take notes, so I'll have to do that. Carl B, he's trying to curry flavour with the foodie guitarists. See what you done there, mate. Very good. The Game Dane saying hello. Hello, mate. Cheers all. Highs and all the highs and stuff. Great stuff. Gary Hill, how's the new washing machine at the Lamb? Are you getting a tune out of it? That's funny. Both myself and the Lamb both had to get new washing machines in the same week. Was it last week for me as well? I think it was, yeah. Got mine on the Monday. Mine's packed in as well. Great timing. Anywho. Anthony Edwardson, hey all, reporting for duty. Thanks for coming, mate. Lovely tone in it, to be fair. Oh, that's talking about the washing machine. Oh, at the time I thought you were talking about my guitar playing. That was probably terrible then, was it? But I'm glad to hear your washing machine sounding good, mate. Hello chat, hello the Lamb. Worked a treat. Whoops. There we go. Oh, I just seen a good wee joke there. Where was that? Vincent Brennan to the Lamb, you spin me right round. Evening. You spin me right round, baby, right round, like a washing machine round. Is that the words? Can't remember. John Channing says that sounded great. Ah, good. It worked. Excellent. Mississippi Blues giving us a wee clap. Thanks, mate. Cheers. Hello, friends. As usual, for a Thursday afternoon, Eastern US, I am working, and yet again, someone has been rude enough to schedule a meeting at the same time as Steve's livecast. Rob F., you're going to have to get this sorted in your work, mate. You're going to need to speak to them. Put out an email to everyone, or something like that, in your organisation. Scott Bogfoot, cheers all. Hey Rob, Sergey saying thank you for the live stream. Thank you for coming, Sergey. Much appreciated, mate. CH Field Sports in, oi oi, oi oi, mate. Thanks for coming, Chuck. Mott Hoople, evening Steve and the gang. Self-taught, and boy did I make a poor teacher. The advent of channels has improved things immensely. Pity it wasn't around 40 years ago. Hold on, I just want to see if I get this right. Evening Steve, right, you're self-taught, and boy did I make a poor teacher. So you were teaching as well? Because that's something I would get into, I'd like to get into as well. Possibly. But yeah. Nice one, mate. Scott Brower. The guitar is such an easy instrument, so much more logical than, say, a piano. Brilliant. Yes, that's a great point, mate. Yeah, it's not an easy instrument. Well, that's funny. That's something else to get into about how accessible it is to learn and how unconventional it is to learn guitar compared to any other instrument as well. Interesting. Richard Clark, when I started there wasn't even really tab yet. We just learned by ear. I was lucky to be in a great music scene in the U of Illinois campus where band like Hum and Braid were starting all the time. I don't know if I know Hum and Braid, mate. Sorry, I must have missed that one. Cool though. Yeah, I mean, my own education on guitar has been, well, a lot of things, but I've done a lot by ear and I've never enjoyed tab too much, still even to this day. Oh, it jumps sometimes, there we go. Scott Bogfoot's asking why you got a wrench. You got a wrench last week, mate. I gave you one just as we were leaving the stream because I thought you were a mod over on 3 Chord Dave's as well, so I thought he must know what he's doing. So there you go. I think you are anyway. If you're not, you're a mod here now. Congrats. Now you get to kick people out. Nah, you don't. I don't know what you do. I don't really know what you do as a mod. I think I'm a mod on Lammy's channel. Camel. Sorry about that. Scott Brower saying hello to Scott. Mark Green Guitars in. Hello mate, how you doing? Thanks for coming. I really like music at background. So nostalgic. That's from Sergey. Is that my background synthwave music? I'm a fan as well, mate. Thank you. Glad you like it. Daniel Rentel. Hey Steve, logging in from Poland. Thank you for coming all the way from Poland, Daniel. Hugely appreciated. Dinger 63's in. Evening Steve. Dingers, you're a fellow Dundonian, aren't you? I think I remember that right. Do I know you? Do I know you in real life? I wonder. IMA 640. Hello everyone from the Highlands. Hello mate. How you doing? Thanks for coming mate. David Ems is in. Hello mate. Thanks for coming. Hi Steve. I learned to play by listening to my vinyl copy of AC/DC If You Want Blood Live album over and over at 8 years old. 54 this year. Working it out for myself after learning a couple of chords. Ha! There you go. It's funny, the different generations. So for me, pretty much when I was most into learning stuff, it was a cassette tape. So you hear always about people slowing down the vinyl and trying to pitch it up and down or putting coins on it. Heard of that trick before, a stack of coins to slow it down? That's before my time. I was the tape deck, and then I was actually quite annoyed when CDs came in and became more prominent, especially when people were copying CDs and things like that, because you could get them so much easier, but they weren't as easy to skip through. It wasn't as tactile as tape to find your place, I think. Well, I struggled with it anyway. There you go. But now we're in the golden era of learning. It's just, you get everything now. Slowing down YouTube videos and everything, fantastic, love it. Ivor, thanks for coming if I didn't say hello mate. I got a guitar in the middle aisle at Lidl a few years ago, did you really? Looked like a guitar anyway, got me started at least. Nice one mate, I can't remember ever seen any guitars in Lidl. Richard Clark, I heard about a washing machine virus going around by the UK somewhere. Oh, you've maybe, that's meant over my head that one I think mate. What happened there? David Evans, self-taught in other words, yes. Sister Rose, hello, how you doing? Anyone else with ADHD who has been playing guitar for a very long time but never really made much progress? I find it very hard to sit down and learn things and retain them if I do. I don't think I can relate myself, Sister Rose, but maybe someone else in the chat can, but I can understand where you're coming from. I actually have a teacher for bass for that reason, never got one for guitar. Interesting. Craig, I can't play, I just watch YouTube videos about playing. That's interesting, Craig. Someone else in the poll said something similar that really surprised me. So that's cool. So you don't play, you just watch YouTube videos about playing. That's amazing. That's okay. You're a unique character, mate. I like it. Maria Davies saying hello all. Hello Maria, thanks for coming in. Good to see you. Moto Takahi, hello mate, thanks for coming as well. Hi Steve. Permanent beginner but loving guitars. A bit at a time, lessons with a curry chef. Excellent. Ah, there's another John Robson student. Fantastic, mate. Anton, how much easier is it now to be able to play one tune with record CDs, streaming, not having to rely on rubbish pitch pipes to tune? Ah, yes, in tune. Sorry, got you, mate. Yes. Yeah, it's a lot easier, mate. Yeah, that's it. Sister Rose, piano at least doesn't double up notes and it's obvious when you're playing sharps, etc. Yes, it's all, I mean, every octave is the same. That's the best thing, isn't it? Greg Green, that song You Spin Me actually has an interesting story worth checking out, and there is a good story on YouTube. If you watch it, you will understand what the TDF mix means. I will check it out, mate. Thanks for that. Oh, we jumped again. There we go. Sister Rose, though having to use two hands to play different things is hard. Generally, I find that, yes. Scott Bogfoot, learn how to drown out all the bad playing advice on YouTube. Well, that's something I'm not going to complain too much about, but yeah, there's some of that. I think there's more good than bad. That's my synopsis, right? And Maria Davis is thanking Lambs for the mugs. Oh, Maria, gloating over there, eh? That you've won a duck race, have you? Eh? I need to win a duck race. This is about the Lambs live stream, by the way. Monday nights, get over there, check out the Lambs bonkers banter. It's brilliant. Best live stream on YouTube. Fact. Oh, okay. Sergey speaking to Daniel. Nice. Carl B. G's power failure. I just heard a transformer blow down the street. Oh no. Well, you're still on the chat, mate, so might not be the worst. Hope everything's okay. Oh, missed something again there. Dan Gill. Started learning when I was 13 as my mum sold my drum kit as it was annoying the neighbours. Learned from annoying other guitarists to teach me stuff. Good on you, mate. Dingers63, Dundee yes, Met not yet. Ah, there you go. Okay, cool. Anton, mods have an easy time on guitar channels due to excellent community. That's what I feel, Anton, mate. Spot on. You know what? You get to be a mod for that. Let's make you mod you up. It's meant to be just for other guitar channels. That's the rules that I stole off of Lammy, but I don't know if it's true. Maria Davies, I'm learning to play watching Rick Kominski. I don't know him. I don't know all of the channels. There's so many great channels out there. I don't know them all, but I bet they're great. Scott Bogfoot, can you learn not to be tone deaf, or is that permanently attached to my list of problems? I don't know. I think someone maybe needs to just, you need to spend time with someone who knows what to show you to listen out for. I don't know. I've heard different, there's a spectrum of tone deafness. Let's say that. I've heard people that can get over it and some people that can't. You know, have you ever seen someone on dancing that has no concept of rhythm or timing? That's interesting, especially when you're playing in the band. And if you look up and see someone dancing out of time, it can throw you off a little bit. I think you'll be all right though, Scott. Don't you worry, mate. Richard Clark, I never thought about coins. We covered old turntables that had 78 speed on them. That's the one. Oh, there's Eddie G's in. How you doing, mate? Well, there's Eddie G's a guy that I kind of cut my teeth with back in the day, joining a band with these older guys like Eddie. They were really old. I was just a young puppy. I was about 4 years on it or something. But yeah, I joined these guys' band. Cool. Sorry, even kid. I learned guitar at 15 because my mate Brian was showing off doing the finger-picked section from the Metallica track To Live Is To Die, and I told him I could do that easy. Well, you sure showed him, mate. By the way, Eddie's the boy. Muso in Dundee, plays everything. But bass player is his thing the past, I don't know, probably over a decade now. Well, no, forever. Longer than over a decade, for ages, right. Sister Rose, oh, by the way, it was my birthday yesterday. Happy birthday yesterday to you, Sister Rose. You'll be another Aries like myself. It was my birthday a couple of weeks ago. You got the Boss Katana Go. It's bloody fantastic. I've heard good things about it. It does look interesting. Good on you. Greg Green, even the pros learn songs by ear and sometimes play it wrong. Glad it's not just me. Yes, that's the Nuno Betancourt method. I kind of like it like that as well. Eddie G, despite having never picked up a guitar in my life, 45 minutes later I could do it, so I figured I should probably give it a go. Well, that worked out alright for you and for everybody else, mate. Greg Green, what the duck? Maria Davies, I won dropping my balls. Oh, so you didn't win the duck race, you won Lammy's balls. See, this is the thing, you need to check out Lammy's stream on Monday night to get these references about these crazy interactive games like the duck race, Lammy's droppings, Lammy's balls. Great fun. Oh, and Gary Hill saying, I've won duck all on Monday nights too. Yeah, see, Gary knows what I'm talking about. Anton, thanks Steve. No worries, mate. All good. I bet Dougal enjoyed John Robson's curry. I bet he did. Sister Rose, you're being streamed through my katana. Oh, I didn't even know that was possible. Cool. And Graham Campbell's in saying, evening all. Right, I've caught up with the chat. So now it's time to check out the poll. We're going to get in the poll. You ready? Here we go. How to do this again? I press that button. There we go. That's it. I need to bring my mouse down here. Right. So, this week we had 116 votes. Less than last week. 116 is fantastic. I'm over the moon. Thank you all so much for interacting and sharing your stories about how you learned guitar and your journeys. It's really appreciated. Now, this was this interesting, so I can't find my mouse, there's my mouse, right. I don't know how interesting this is, right, but let's see. Yes, not what I expected. 63% self-taught. That's a really high number of self-taught people. So I know that that means a lot of things, so what I put in the comment beside it there is picked up stuff here and there. So I suppose I maybe fit into that category, and I suppose some of you probably fit into more than one category. This is the problem with these polls. So the next one up in the vote was lessons in real life. Human lessons, 21%, which is a lower number than I expected. Or maybe some people tried lessons in real life briefly and then didn't get much out of it, so it's not how they learned. Bad experience maybe, who knows. The next highest was 15% with YouTube or online courses. So I mentioned Marty Schwartz, Justin Guitar. These are like the OG guitar educators in my mind. And Musician, the app, etc. Which probably should have been in the other category actually. Other is the other category. 2% apps, AI, and your local Robo Guitar Centre. To be honest, the other one, I didn't know what that would be, but I just really wanted to use that picture because I thought it was funny. I built it on the AI. I think the prompt was something like bearded man, because I tried to make it all, what do you call it? Equality and that kind of thing. I had to try to have a little bit of everybody in there. Everybody represented. So I went for a bearded man learning guitar from a friendly robot looking scared. That was what came up. There's loads of them, but that was the best one. Right, let's get into the comments. Okay, so we've already heard from some of you guys, but we'll read some of them anyway. Carl B, 1972, my pals got together to play some what is now known as classic rock. You picked up bass and played it upside down. The left. Yeah, this is what you were talking about earlier, of course, yeah. You stopped playing about 1975, 45 years later, your wife passed, and I decided to pick up electric guitar, this time as a proper lefty. 3.5 years later, I suck, but it's one of the few things that can bring me some joy. Yes, I think that was what I mentioned in the, when I responded to you. Like, I respond to all the comments, by the way. All the comments, all the time, well, try to. But that was what I mentioned, what did I mention? I'm glad the guitar brought you some, yeah, guitar's a powerful therapeutic medicine it can be, so I'm glad it's helped me somewhat. Okay, Nikolai started as a teenager using a book from the library with a picture of Paul Kossoff on the front. I so wish I could remember the name of it and the author, it was awesome. Does anybody know it? Can anybody let them know? And listening and playing along to music by ear, I had some musical knowledge, grade 4 clarinet, and of course the recorder, bass, was the same height as me. Nice. Life happens and I stopped. Took it up again when I started playing bass at church. Got myself reacquainted with the bass clef, playing guitar more than bass now. Good on you. After those clarinet lessons, I was put off having lessons, so it was a hard slog for a few years getting up to speed. Then I started playing with others, soul and funk covers. I like it, mate. And got lots of good tips and experience from others. Good grief, what a long ramble. Yeah, right there. Nah, I'm all joking, mate. That was great. Listen, this is fantastic, sharing the stories, and that's a very unique one as well. You've got some classical background. You've obviously learned to read notation, bass clef, clarinet. Lots going on there, mate. A big long break. It's a good story. And I noticed that with a lot of people as well. A lot of people sort of played before, had a big break and then got back into it. Clucker. I had a teacher who taught me to play the accordion. After 2 years, I started to play by ear. And at the same time, my sister showed me 3 chords, E, A and D. The rest is already history. I've played the guitar for more than 30 years. There you go. I'm hoping you know more chords now, mate. E and D. I mean, you could do them for 30 years, easy, and still have fun. Playing. J.R. Channing. Started with a few lessons on bass guitar, but then didn't play for years. Started again. See, there's another one. Started again and learned bass guitar and guitar stuff via YouTube and some books. Still learning. Yes, that was the theme of what came up as well. Still learning. I think most of us will attest to the same thing. I'm in the same boat. I'm still learning. I'd love to spend more time learning, but I don't. I always enjoy it when I learn something new and work on stuff, but it's harder when you're older. Well, maybe not when you're retired older. That's maybe easier, but when you're this kind of age. When you're whatever age it is that I am right now that gives me excuses to not be learning enough guitar, it's harder, right? Rebecca Hindle. Oh, this was a unique one. Fender Play, mainly. That's the Fender Play tuition course, isn't it? and some YouTube, some books, guitar mastery method. Can't remember who that is, but I went off that a bit because it's great for solo and advanced beginner, but not rhythm. Really still good though. Learnt a lot of techniques from it, but always go back to Fender Play. It's so good, and the community on Facebook are a fantastic help. Sorry. Great, yeah, I actually expected Musician and Fender Play might get more, because I've heard a lot of good things about Fender Play. I'm surprised it's not bigger. Or maybe it is, but I'm surprised it isn't bigger in my poll of 116 votes. Begin then, I started learning guitar when the pandemic broke out at the age of 50. Good on you, mate. Another pandemicer. I've learnt what I can, which is not much, by watching how to play videos on YouTube. I found that I'm having the most fun by learning songs or solos, not by learning scales and music theory, although you do pick up bits and pieces along the way. Yes, right, sorry, I'm going to zoom past the name, but good on you. Zombie Kai, I think I've spelled that right. Self-taught with books, had a friend of the family who then helped me polish my skills. Old school, I like it, mate. Major upgrade, still learning. YouTube University has been a great school, but assembling the lessons in order is hard to do sometimes. 100%, that's one of the things that I would, I think everybody would agree on that, eh? It's the, so much. Too much. No. Andrew A. Hayes, I was taught the basics by my dad, same here. Well, not your dad, I was taught the basics by my dad. Hello Razor if you're watching. And picked up bits here and there from friends. Then I realised my playing wasn't advancing, so I took some weekly lessons for about 18 months. That's similar to my story, only I was getting... So I learnt mostly from my dad starting out, and some bits from my stepdad as well. And then, and some friends as well. I've got a good pal, Steve Murphy, he's a ridiculous guitar player. He's got a channel as well. I used to hang around with him and learn some stuff off him, and he'd been getting lessons for a long time, so I think maybe my dad might have decided that I wasn't advancing quick enough either compared to Steve, so I got to go to lessons. Actually, I was wanting to go to lessons anyway. It was great. I think it was probably me begging for them. But thank you, Father, for putting me to guitar lessons, because worked out good. Although, I'll get to that shortly as well. See, as a guitar teacher now, I wouldn't want to learn the way that I learned from my guitar teacher then. No disrespect to the teacher, but we'll get back into it. Okay, where are we at now? Karl Casey fan. I've been playing guitar for about 12 years. My first instrument was my voice. I'm a singer. I was in a Rick band for around 4 years. I started when I was 17 years old. We did covers from Wait by White Lion to Dirty White Boy to Smoking in the Boys' Room. That's no easy stuff for a vocalist. Good on you, mate. Then I picked up keyboard because the band wanted to do Comfortably Numb. The bass player sang while I played the synth. Then I wrote my first song in keys, then eventually gravitated towards guitar, so I've taught, read more, myself keys and guitar for years, mostly chord shapes, especially for worship. Church is another good one, isn't it, for getting people playing the guitar. Then YouTube opened my eyes to lessons galore. It's only been this past year that I've set out to learn how to play lead. I suck at it, my solos lack soul, they just seem to stay in a box, but I keep plugging away at it. That's the trick, mate. I've always just played rhythm since I sing. Craig, nice. Right, how many more have I got here? I've got quite a few. Right, I'm really sorry. Thank you everybody for, I did respond to you all in the poll. Sorry, your comments in the poll, but I don't want to neglect the live chat that's going on right now as well for the stuff that I've already responded to. But thank you so much for sharing the stories. Let's get back into the live chat. Chat. I didn't say that. Here we go. Hello again. Right, mouses. A mouse, right. Where did we leave off? Oh, right, okay. We might be able to go back to the poll. There's not as many comments as I thought. Right, where did we go? Right. Oh, sorry. Please bear with me while I find where we were at. I'm so sorry. See this streaming software that I use? It's like OBS, but not quite. There isn't a way of kind of like finding where you left. Maybe there's a way of marking things. I'll figure it out another time. Right, Greg Green, I think this is where we're at. I learned rhythm by playing Social Distortion, pure rhythm grooves on guitars and Joy Division on bass. I'm a big Peter Hook fan, so you can definitely get better. Wait a minute. At playing rhythm by putting in the time. Yes, 100%, yeah. Sorry, Moto Takahi, Steve, slow down delivery a bit, very Billy Connolly. I'm sorry, mate. I get excited and I try to get through all the comments. I'm so sorry. I will try to slow down, sorry. I'm aware of it when I'm doing it, sometimes. I'm going to turn this amp off. Okay. Eddie G, by the way folks, when young Stephen joined my band, he was king of the inversions. Brought some nice flavour to the tunage. Oh, there you go. I don't even know if I knew what an inversion was back then, mate. But thank you very much, Eddie. Hugely appreciated. Al Lindsay, Gear Safari. Hello, mate. Good to see you. Thanks for coming in. Anton, just bought my son Yamaha THR amp. He loves the amp and practices much more because of it. Good. That's what I like to hear. They're handy little things, aren't they? Greg Green, perfect pitch is something that few people have, but turns out it's not something you keep for life. Most pros have some degree of hearing damage and know how to get around it. Yeah, that's right, mate. They say it deteriorates with age. I think it's in a later age, like late 60s maybe, and it basically becomes similar to becoming colourblind, but for sound. Sound blind. So, pitch blind. Shut up. Digging myself a massive hole there, right? Sorry about that. Carl B, to me, guitar tabs are upside down. Oh yeah. Yeah, for lefties, you've not got it easy, mate. Same with chord boxes, yeah? They're the wrong way around. Holding your guitar, it's low E to high E. They tab it upside down to add to the confusion. Well, yeah, but I think when you're sitting in front of it as well, I think that makes it less. Yeah, well, for chord boxes. I discovered this recently with a left-handed student, the plight, how it's more difficult for lefties, I think. Whoops. Nedum, can you need them meadow? Hello mate, thanks for coming in. Good evening, I'm also self-taught, but I've taken lessons, learned a bit from YouTube, bought too many courses on TrueFire, not all worked for me, but many did. Very important, learn and write songs. Great shout mate, fantastic. My mate Callum Hoggett's in, how you doing mate? The drummer from Air. Thanks for coming mate. I learned from a guitar chord dictionary. I studied music, drum kit player, and lived and hung about with guitar students which helped. Yeah, there you go. Callum and I were good buddies at the college, and we need to get back hanging out again, mate. I've not replied to your text from earlier, sorry, I will do. And I've just realised, Moto Takahe, I am rapid talking again. Slow down, sorry. There's only an hour, there's only 25 minutes left, I'm not talking about all the stuff. Maria Davies, you have to have human lessons. My other half helps me when I get stuck. That's the way to do it. Okay, David Evans. Steve, recently been playing a bit of bass, really enjoying it. Been great for coming up with new guitar riffs for Seed. That's David's band, by the way, you can check on YouTube. Of course, it's not the same as guitar as most people think. 100%, mate. I focused on bass for a good couple of years, as Callum will know. When he used to come to his house for jams, I was playing bass mainly. Preferred bass, yeah. And yeah, it's not the same. I'm still a guitar player that plays bass. I've never got to that level of where I could call myself a bass player yet. But yeah, getting closer. Al Lindsay, sorry I'm late, forgot the time, packing my bags to head to London to watch my son run the London Marathon. What have I missed? Well mate, well good luck to your son, hope he does great. We're talking about learning guitar. Loads of stories mate. Sorry, you can catch on catch up. How are you getting down to London, mate? You getting the train? Watch us on catch. Maria Davies, I've progressed from playing the ukulele and now I'm hooked on the guitar. I find it very interesting learning new shapes. So there you go. Yeah, that's what they say about the ukulele. It's a gateway instrument to the guitar. No, it can be. Yeah, I teach the ukulele as well. Yeah, a lot of the shapes are the same, but you've got the same shapes but having to learn new names for them, which could be a bit confusing when you go between both. Okay, Richard Clark, I am 58 now and learning is still fun. I have separate save spot just for guitar instructions on YouTube. Yeah, me too mate. I've got a playlist that I never get through. Moto Takahe at 77, it's hard to remember, understand. Great. Remembering another thing, yes. I'm feeling that. I'm not as old as 77 mate, but I could see where it's going. Excuse me. Scott Bogfoot, to the horror of my subscribers, about 2 years ago I started to teach myself how to sing. I'm the last person you'd want singing. Not only am I tone deaf, I'm monotone and super introverted as well. Are you sure you're introverted, mate? It doesn't sound like it. Ivers off, see you mate, thanks for coming. Greg Green, singing is a different beast than just playing guitar. It took me 10 years to really dovetail my voice and my guitar together. You just have to put time in. Yeah, that's it, mate. Alfie's in. Hello, mate. Good to see you. One-to-one is the way for me, as you can. Me and Alfie do one-to-one lessons. YouTube, etc. But never got me fully engaged, as sometimes you can bite off more than you can chew, which puts you off. Fully into it now and pretty much play daily. Good on you, mate. That's what I like to hear. Greg Green, if you play with electric guitar, you should get a small PA and mic so you're used to playing gigs. That's another good shout. Oops. Clive Smith, hi Steve. I started playing guitar about 12 years old with my sister's Spanish guitar, then lessons with a pro guitarist. Hated it. He did not enjoy the lessons with a pro guitarist. Got my first acoustic, which my dad got me for my 15th birthday. Good on you, mate. And you're still at it. That's what I like to hear. Scott Bogfoot, Greg, it's very hard. I struggled for a while. Well, this is the singing, yes. Greg Green, if you play acoustic, practice playing and singing in a corner to hear yourself better. Good idea, mate, for the acoustics. Whoops, Anton. How to sing and play guitar would be a great subject for a video. I find it very difficult, but I guess it's multitasking. Well, I think you're going to have to speak to Scott Bogfoot about that one. Scott Bogfoot. Check out his channel. Sorry, Scott, I'm not sure if I've checked out your channel yet. I'm very sorry, mate. I'll have to do that. Apologies. Maria Davies, yeah, remembering the chords, strumming patterns and song lyrics is extremely difficult, yes. Greg Green, my experience was I was okay at guitar and my singing set my playing back when I started, so I just play or sing, the quality went up. So doing both is not easy. Yeah, you'll notice it, see when you listen to singer-songwriters, you'll usually hear the little musical interlude parts are always, well obviously they're interludes, they're in between the singing. But it happens a lot when there's a breath. You'll hear the little intricate part back to the singing. Great example of this is B.B. King. Not so much singer-songwriter acoustic stuff, but he didn't play chords so much, did he? He would just sing the song, do a little whittly wee, and then back to singing the song again. But class at both. Okay. Greg Green, best way to sing and play guitar is to get in a band and just do it. You get better so much faster. Yeah, getting in a band is great. We're going to run out of time for this one tonight, mate. Guys, sorry. Rob F, hello Steve, hello friends. Meeting's over, I can listen in now. Good, glad you're here, mate. Thanks for coming. Callum Hoggett, amazing bass player. Steve is definitely a chord inversion king. I'll take all that. There we go. I can't do it on, my excuse is I can't do it on camera. I can only do it in front of the guys that say I'm good. Scott Bogfoot, exactly Greg. Hello Scott. You can see where it's going, I can see where it's gone. Ah, that's it. Anton, John Robson's book is a great resource and easy to follow. Fully recommend it. You've just reminded me, I'm going to go back to that comment section to read John's comment shortly. Yeah, John Robson does have a tuition book that you'll have to check out. There you go, could be the one for you. CH Field Sports, I enjoy learning through YouTube videos, but by far the best thing for me has been streaming backing tracks through my Spark Go and just improvising along to them. Learned a lot of fretboard notes. That's it. Learning your maps, mate. Anyone remember HarmonyCentral.com? Funny you should mention Scott Bogfoot. Yes, I used to post there in electric guitar forums all the time. P.S. Starcaster. It's doing the rounds just now because Tom DeLong's just got his new one out. Do you know that this modern player Fender Starcaster was discontinued in 1982 and it got reissued in 2013? Which might have been something to do with me. Maybe Harmony Central forums, you might find it. I'm going to do a video on it in the future. But there you go, there's an exclusive for you. I can't wait to tell the story. I've been talking about telling the story for a long time. I will get around to it, but it's just so epic in my head that I should have done it for now because it's popular again. Anyway, forget about that. Maria Davies, I'm totally in awe of people who can play and sing. My hat goes off to them. Yes, 100% agree. Rob F, I figured out recently that to hear my voice over my guitar when I sing, I will need some sort of amplification and microphone. The guitar rat hole is truly bottomless. Yes, indeed, mate. It never ends. Cal B, I play every day for a couple of hours spread throughout the day. Good on you, mate. And tend to learn through muscle memory and repetition. Fantastic, brilliant. Good on you. Graham Campbell, you might do a vid on singing and playing if it's helpful to anyone. Do it, mate. Graham Campbell's got a great channel and he's a great singer. I watched your video on Instagram the other day, mate. Fantastic. Oh my God, my boy's in. McRocklin, how you doing? Thomas, nice to see you, mate. Thank you so much for coming. I've been using your Dreamstreams finally, mate. I'm sorry I'm making a mockery of them, but we are using them. What one did we use today? I'll tell you which one we did. We did Mr. Nice, a nice A minor. I think I did A minor the last time as well, but yeah. Thank you for coming, McRocklin. McRocklin's a legend, by the way. You need to check it, like an actual legend. Check him out. Okay, David Evans. Steve, one thing that might help people for strumming patterns and rhythm is listen to what drummers doing on the hi-hat. Oh yes, good shout, mate, especially if you're in a funk band. So we've got Bogfoot. Steve, I'm told that my channel is an experience. I get called mad as a box of frogs a lot. Right, sold, mate. I need to check that out. Maria Davies, the Lamb is awesome at singing and playing on his live shows, 100%. And man, you need to check out the Lamb's live stream on Monday nights. It's bonkers. And yeah, you're right, he's singing and playing his own point. Greg Green, also don't underestimate the experience of busking and how much that helps getting better. I've never done busking, mate. I thought about that recently, actually. If it's something I should just tick off the list. I've never done it in my life. I should maybe try that. Anthony Eberson, has anyone got John Robson's book? I want to improve my theory knowledge to make it easier to deal with last minute key changes on a Sunday morning. I don't have it, but someone just mentioned earlier in the chat that they've got it and they're having a lot of success with it. Greg Green, anyone else busk from time to time? I don't, mate, sorry. McRocklin, nice one, mate. Yes, thank you, mate. So glad you've came, mate, and you're still aware of my existence. Cheers, mate, brilliant. CH Field Sports, I've been eyeing up a Gretsch Streamliner. They look good. They do look good, mate. I fancy one as well. Richard Clark, you just found your channel and subbed. We'll check out some stuff after this. Thanks. Great stuff. There we go. Greg Green, you have an Electromatic Gretsch. Great guitars. Brilliant. Anton. There you go. Great. Right. Graham should be able to put a link for his channel in because he's a mod. Go for it, Graham. Get him stuck in. Anybody that wants to put links in for their channels, you get modded up. Of course, we're putting McRocklin as a moderator. Are you joking? There you go, mate. Mod away. Kick Abdi out. I'm not joking. But yeah, again, appreciate you coming. Right, I need to go back to the this again because I need to read out John Robson's comment. Not that you get special treatment or anything, but you might like this. Or I need to get, he's getting a bit of a plug here, if I can find him. There he is. Right, you'll be able to see it as well. So in the poll, John picked stuff up here and there, but what I really meant is that I read books, lots of books. Anything I can find in the local library on music of any kind, biographies of famous musicians, songwriters, composers, often have little pearls of wisdom to be picked up. Definitely recommend the Guitar Handbook by Ralph Denyer as a fantastic learning resource. I've got that right at my knees here, by the way, same book, yes. But get books on any kind of music tuition or history and development. Then see if you can make sense of it on guitar. I learned how to do Thin Lizzy guitar harmonies from a book about Elgar. There you go, look at that, you wouldn't expect that, would you? For example. Or, here's the plug. Or you could sign up with a good tutor who does lessons worldwide via Zoom and has very reasonable rates. Very reasonable rates. First lesson free, just saying. There you go. So yeah, John Robson, of course, get checking out his stuff, and he's got the book as well. And McRocklin, he's got a whole school of McRock. If you want to learn to shred in like the craziest way, and you know what, McRocklin, I'm sorry I've not signed up to your thing, right? But from what I've seen of your vids, I love what you've got going on, because you've got a lot of sort of tricks, right? Really cool, flashy sounding, accessible-ish tricks. And you just take a wee thing and integrate it to your playing, and it could be a total game changer for your playing. So I love that, but I'm sure you do a lot more than that. I've never delved into it, like I say, but the stuff that I've seen, yes, very cool. Right, am I going to have time? I've got 15 minutes to talk about, 15 minutes to talk about. I've got a big list of all the stuff that I wanted to cover, but I don't know if I'm going to get to cover any. I'm going to read off the list, right? Okay. There we go. Right, you've got 5 minutes to get this in the chat. What's a guitar teacher's #1 job, right? We've got some teachers in here, right? So there you go, 5 minutes. See if you can chuck it in some ideas. We'll go back to that in a minute. I've got, in my opinion, what I think it is. This is what I do for a living, guitar teaching, since about 2006. So that's however many years from 2024 to then. Maths. So yeah, what's a guitar teacher's #1 job? What do you think it is? Right, okay. Talking about YouTube guitar lessons and things like that. So we've got John Robson, we've got McRocklin, right? So the question is, oversaturation? Is it oversaturated? I mean, that's one of the reasons from where I'm coming from is that I don't teach on YouTube, is because, not oversaturation, but it's not oversaturation for the viewer, it's oversaturation for me to compete in that market. So that's one reason, but that's really the second reason. The first reason is that it's my day job, and this YouTube stuff is my break from teaching. I get to talk about guitars and just different stuff, you know. If I was teaching here as well, it would feel like a chore. I do love teaching, but when I'm doing it a lot, it feels more like a job. And that's something I've got to be careful of with just doing the YouTube stuff as well, because that can get the same way if I'm not careful about that as well, put too much pressure on myself. Went off on a bit of a tangent there, apologies, let me carry on. So, oversaturation's a thing, right? Possibly. But then the complaint for most people is the organisation. There's just so much lessons out there. I don't have a complaint, right? I used to complain, I used to be bitter and say there's so much misinformation and bad guitar teachers out there, but I don't say that anymore because I think that the good tuition out there on YouTube far outweighs the bad, like by miles. The best guitar teachers in the world globally are on YouTube. There's just so much stuff out there. John Robson in the chat, McRocklin, of course, all these, there's loads of them, right? And then there's the OGs. There's your Marty Schwartz and there's Justin Guitar, and I want to talk about two of them as well as examples in a second. So one way you can get past that is doing the courses. People pick a teacher and go through the courses, right? Talking about that, here's the thing, right? Did anybody answer the question? Let me go back. Oh wait, somebody's got it right there. Maria Davies, yes, you've pretty much got it there. Anybody else go for it? We didn't get too many people. Yeah, okay, yeah, Karl as well, you've pretty much got it. Engaging the student, motivate people, make learning guitar fun so the students keep playing. Yeah, look, you've all pretty much got it. Motivate and inspire. Anton, you've nailed it. That is the word. Inspire. Inspiration, that's it, right? So learning the guitar, the information is the same, right? All the information, all the things you need to do, they're all the same. It's all the same for when you learn the basics, it's all the same stuff. But when it comes to guitar teachers, what a lot of people do, and what I did in the past as well, is a lot of guitar teachers teach guitar the way they learned the guitar, which might not be the best way to learn guitar, you know. Through teaching for a long time, you sort of experiment, you find what works better and faster for different people. That's where the one-on-one thing's good. When you go universal with videos and courses and that kind of thing, it's harder to work for everyone, you know. So like I say, the information's the same, but it's all about the delivery. Who do you prefer the delivery from, right? So let's use the example of Marty Schwartz and Justin Guitar. Listen, I'm going to go on longer tonight, right? I've just decided because I've got so much to talk about, right? You can leave if you want, whenever you want, but I'm going to keep going because I just want to get this off my chest. So, I'm not ranting. I might be ranting. Right. So, zero disrespect to Marty Schwartz or Justin Guitar. Are you joking me? How could I possibly say a bad word about either of them? I don't have a bad word to say about either of them. They're both fantastic, both of them, right? But if I was to compare them, right, if I was to do a comparison, both of these guys are not going to work for everyone. Some of you are going to prefer one, some are going to prefer the other, right? So the way I would see it is, I would want to learn from Justin Guitar, right? As someone who is now experienced, and I could see the value in his lessons, that he's going a little bit more in depth with the theory, how things matter, but he still takes his time, he's very patient, he explains things very well. Yeah, there you go, right? So that's what I think would be the better education I think you would get from Justin Guitar. But how about his vibe? Are you going to stick with Justin Guitar? Whereas Marty Schwartz, right, you're not going to get as in-depth in education, right? I'm not saying that he can't give you an in-depth in education. It's just, I'm using two examples, right? They're not perfect examples, and I'm not dissing anyone. I think they're both fantastic, right? I've said this a million times. Anyway, Marty Schwartz, right? His vibe is more engaging, right? And so many people on YouTube have learnt from Marty and his lessons. He'll teach you something that's fun, engaging, inspirational, and that might be what you need. That might be the spark to get you playing something and interested in something else. So who's the better teacher? Who's the right teacher? No one. The information's the same, it's all in the delivery, right? And it's all about inspiring, but you've also got to educate, you know, that's it. If you want to be, it depends what your goals are as a teacher, it depends on what the goals are of the student. Do you just want to entertain yourself and have fun? There's nothing wrong with that. Do you want to be the best guitar player in the world? Good luck. You might be, but you know what I mean? Realistic expectations on both sides, on both sides, sorry. Right, I never fully expressed everything I wanted to talk about in that rant, but I'm going to go on to something else. I hope I'm not offending anybody. Okay, another thing with online courses. I think a high percentage of people don't complete online courses, just something to consider. I might do an online course one day, but it's not going to be any better than anyone else's. It's just going to be my way of delivering it. And do you like it? Yes or no? Who knows? We'll find out. Maybe you won't, maybe I won't do one. I don't know if I'll do one. It seems like it's inevitable at some point, probably not this year. Right, I've talked about that. Okay, right, I've got this other thing. Oh dear, there isn't really time for this. Right, here we go. Okay, I've been coming up with this concept that isn't properly finalised yet, right? But it starts with inspiration, right? This is like how you can gauge different guitar teachers, right? Sorry, I'm going off my notes here, right? So we've got inspiration, right? And then there's the guitar tutor's explanation of what the thing is that has inspired you, right? And then there's your interpretation of what they've said to you. You might not understand it 100%, or you might not understand everything they've said fully. So we've got inspirations first, then there's the explanation, then there's your interpretation of the information, then there's the you practicing, that's the integration. Everything's got a shin on the end, right? And then once you have did all your repetitions and you've integrated it, then it's execution. So you've got inspiration, explanation, interpretation, integration, execution. Once you've executed said concept, technique, whatever it happens to be, then you might become the inspiration for someone else. And the cycle continues. That might be a thing, it might not be a thing, right? That's something I just wanted to get off my chest. Something else, another example, right? We did Marty Schwartz and Justin Sanderco, Justin Guitar, I'm calling him Justin Guitar. Let's go levels above this, right? Joe Satriani and Rick Beato. I was watching an interview that Rick Beato did with Joe Satriani, not one of the recent ones, it's one from a while ago. I think we did it on Zoom or something during the pandemic. Anyway, and Satriani was playing Beato a compliment of some kind, like he really enjoys all his videos and how well versed he is in theory, and he loves the way that he looks at music. And he says, I was waiting to say I quote, I don't know if it's exactly like that, he says, I don't look at the music and the theory the way you do, it's not the way I look at it, but I still appreciate it. So there you go, even at these high levels, because I've always thought Joe Satriani's been high level in his theory and that kind of thing. High level, these two guys, they don't view things and interpret things the same way, so how can we be expected to? Okay, something else, when you're learning guitar, here's me giving you a lesson there, right? Listening, using your ears, open up your musical tastes. If you get caught in a rut, you want to start listening to something different, right? Joe Satriani is an example for me. At a really young age, I got into Joe Satriani, and I'm so thankful that I did, because his stuff, he had a lot of esoteric stuff, and it introduced my ears to things that I wouldn't have probably heard if I didn't. It even helped me get into jazz and things like that later on. Although I got to hear a lot of jazz growing up because my dad was into jazz as well. And I got loads of stuff from my dad, but there you go. Anywho, something else if you get stuck in a rut. See if you find yourself going to lessons, or if you're getting a lot of fragmented learning from different places. What you want, an idea, right, could be obsess about someone's playing. Obsess. Pick a guitar player, right? Could be anyone you want. It could be Angus Young, it could be Joe Satriani, it could be Jack White from the White Stripes, be whoever you want, right? Pick a guitarist that you like their vibe and their style and you think, I would love to play like that, right? And try and learn 3 songs that's within your capability. If not, pick some of their easiest or most accessible songs or accessible parts. You'll get some enjoyment out of that, and you'll steal a bit from their DNA, right? And that can become part of your DNA. And if you enjoyed that process, pick another guitar player, but get really stuck into diving deep, really listen to their tone, their touch. This is how you can sort of change from that meandering sound to the pro sound when you start listening to the touch. Okay, right, where are we at now? Right, here's what's coming up on the channel. I think I managed to moan about everything. We've got a few minutes left. Tomorrow's video, if you can handle it after this, after me moaning. Tomorrow's video is the final video in the series from the Birmingham stuff, the Birmingham Guitar Show, and it's my interview with Rafael Jesus. Oh, I'm still practicing getting it better at that. So that's up tomorrow. You need to check out his channel. That's basically what the video was about, and it's the last one of Birmingham. After that, the next 2 weeks, I've got Fazley Firebird video, part 2 of the refinish, and I've actually refinished that guitar now, but I've not assembled it yet. So I need to work on part 3 of that video. That's what's coming up on the channel. Live streams every Thursday. Subscribe if you want to get involved in the, what do we call it? The poll. We do a poll on Wednesday, and then we'll live stream about it and talk about it on the Thursday. One last thing I wanted to mention. Henning Pauly, HP42. If you don't know Henning Pauly, you do. You do know Henning Pauly, right? You've seen his thumbnails. Baldy German, wacky dude, great channel. You've bound to have seen some of his stuff. Anywho, Henning Pauly does a massive event every year in his like street near his home, 42 Gear Street, and it's 42 Gear Street 6 coming up in August. He did an open invitation, not an open invitation kind of, but he kind of was talking about channels, smaller channels that could potentially get invited for this year. So you had to apply. So I applied, right? I've not heard from him, so I'm probably not going, right? But if you see my comment over there on that video, give it a wee like or something. Maybe say, yeah, Steve Cassidy, go to 42 Gear Street. That'd be nice, get to go to Germany, check out some gear. Anyway, that was my wee trying to plug myself. Right, I'm so sorry, I missed loads of the rest of the chat there. I don't know if any of the stuff I was talking about was any use. Sorry if I've upset anybody, but there we go. What have we got going on here? We've got into the I'm going to try and read the rest of these comments. I will go on longer. Great, it's looking like Graham Campbell's getting a lot of love here. Fantastic, mate, glad to hear it. Fellow Scott, good on you, mate. Okay. Oh yeah, we got past all the #1 job. CH Field Sport Jules guitar is very good too. Yeah, I've seen one of his lessons recently. Yeah, accessible. That's it. See, whoever's vibe that you like, you've just got to go with whoever's vibe that does it for you. Whoever works for you. That's what it's all about. There we go. Greg Green, there is more than one way to learn a guitar. You have to cater to that student, otherwise they go elsewhere or quit. I know from experience, 100%. Actually, there's another thing. When John Robson did his video with Johnny Budget Guitar Show, it's a great video, by the way. I think it's on, is it Johnny's channel? It's maybe on both our channels. Someone said in the comments on Johnny's video that he's a student of John Robson's as well, and he got the same lesson from John, but he delivered it in a completely different way, catering to the student. That's exactly how you've got to do it. Hollywood Actress, you're late. You are late, mate, but hello, thanks for coming, mate. And you're self-taught. However, you wish you had some intermediate lessons as a late teenager to progress faster during those years when I had so much free time to play guitar and practice. Nice one. There's something else, by the way. Guitarists, we've got this problem that we need to address, right? A mindset thing. Here we go. You're never going to learn everything. Just accept that, right? We put way too much pressure on ourselves, and we hear all these amazing guitarists on YouTube. I want to be as good as Guthrie Govan and George Benson and Danny Gatton. I want to play like these guys, but it's just never going to I'm never going to have the discipline and the time to learn all that. So take it easy on yourself, right? Don't have regrets. I wish I spent all that time when I was young because then I would be that good. Come on, just enjoy the journey. Enjoy playing the guitar. That's what it's all about. That's how we're all here. Oh yeah, and buy gear. Buy all the gear. IMA 640, Steve, your lighting, sound and background music volume is spot on this week. Hope it certainly does, mate. Thank you, mate. I don't know what's different, but thanks, mate. Bug Lips, Marty was actually the first channel that got me to play anything. His video was with the one finger, one string starter. See what I mean? This is it. Richard Clark, Marty and Justin are great. Also, if you're a little more advanced, James, Privitricker is really good and has tons of stuff. There you go. There's so much. A to Z Music Haven. Hey Steve, I taught myself guitar from basic chords to actual songs. It wasn't until much older that I started using YouTube tutorials. There we go. Graham Campbell, you use Marty's channel if you need to learn something quickly for a gig. There we go. Bug Lips says, Bernth showed me the value of having 16 fingers to tap with. Yeah, he's some player, isn't he? Where are we at? Sorry, I'm just going to skip through some of this, but I appreciate all you guys so much. Vincent Brennan saying, what noteology? I'm not sure what that is, mate. Sorry. Where are we at? Maria Davies, don't forget the perspiration, Steve. Great point. I will try not to forget the perspiration. I might be feeling a bit of that right now. Greg Green, you can learn something in a session or two if you know what you want to learn. You just have to find the right instructor for something like that. Well, that's it. Yeah, you've got to find the right instructor for you. Gary Hill, great show tonight, Steve. Was really helpful for me. I hope it was, Gary. Right, I hope you got a lot of tips from other people and that kind of thing. Yeah, because like one of the things you asked was good resources, right? So there is tons of resources, but that's basically it. You have to find what works for you. You have to find who's going to deliver it and the style that you're like, yeah, that's the one for me. That makes sense to me. Right, everybody's saying cheerio. Wait a minute, Richard, I feel a little misled. I keep waiting for the burning part of that series, but nothing is ever on fire. Oh, what is that now? I don't know what that's about. Sorry. Thanks, Greg Green. I'll check. Okay, that's something else. Sorry. Right, a lot of people saying cheerio now. Oh, right. Where are we at? Okay. I'm just getting a read through. Oops. Skipped a few there. Oh, right. Sorry, I'm just reading through some of this and seeing what's all relevant and what's not, because there's so much here. And I'm just so glad you came. Did I see Marcia's in? There's Marcia in as well. Thanks for coming, Marcia. Just stopped in, just stopping in quick to hit the like between appointments. Hope you're all well today. Chat soon. That's right. Hit that like button, people. Thank you. Personal centre guitar tutoring, a tailored thing for each individual. That's it. Steve, from starting playing, how soon was it that you realised you were going to be good? Oh, that's a good question. I mean, you have to kind of put the... Yeah, have to embrace the ego right there. Yeah, I remember thinking... I had a big ego when I was younger, maybe still a little bit, but I thought it was pretty good when I was young. Probably when I nailed the pentatonic scale and started shredding. When, if anybody else that I knew could play guitar could maybe play a handful of chords, I felt like I was doing well. And I was always playing with older guys as well. That was a thing. I was young, like maybe 16, 17, 18, and I was playing with sort of older guys and bands and gigging bands when I was like 18, I think, things like that. Anywho, right, okay, it looks like we're all off. Thank you all so much. Oh, the gain Dane, loved your tone when playing in the beginning. Any tricks to achieve that tone? I used something on the Mustang amp. I think it was called something like... I'll find out, mate. I'll tell you on Instagram. It was like Studio Live something. It's one of the Fender apps. Oh, the Burning Nam series, Richard. I got you. Bam. Sorry, I missed that. Greg Green, Steve, instead of trying to play like the greats you mentioned, steal a little bit of their flavour and add it to your vibes. That's it. Let's end on that. Right, we went over time 5 minutes. Thank you all so much for coming and for putting up with the rants. I enjoyed this one tonight. It was more enjoyable and a lot more to talk about than what's your favourite guitar knob. You know what I mean? So I'm going to mix it up. We'll do a little bit of both, but I did enjoy this. Thanks all for coming. Thanks for your contributions, both in the poll through the week, for the suggestions for the poll and the topic, and for coming to the stream tonight. Thank you all so much. We'll see you next time. Remember, our video tomorrow night, 6 o'clock if you can make it. Subscribe if you want. I'll see you next week. Right, and thanks for coming. Thanks for watching. Until next time, here we go. See you later. Is that it? That's never it, is it? Right, hopefully that's it. Bye.